Spiritual successors. The good, the okay, and the ugly. We're talking about all of it right now. So we picked two or three games here. I forget how many it was exactly. But we're going to give you an example of the main game that it was based on, what the spiritual
hmm
successor was, and if it was good, okay, or ugly.
Now, I want to be clear, so everybody understands. So, what we mean by a spiritual successor is it's not a sequel of the original game, but it's based off of the original game, plays very similar to the original game, and is not the same name as the original game.
Thank you for clarifying that. Yeah, some people might not be aware, but that is what
Yeah.
we're talking about.
Mhm.
We'll start with this example. I'll go first. Castlevania Symphony of the Night. One of the best games on the PS1.
Yes,
Period.
sir.
No arguing that. Fantastic game. The main creator behind it, he left. He made his own studio, and he started making these games called Bloodstained, and he made some spiritual successors to the, like Castlevania 3, like the 2D side scrolling ones, and he made
Mhm.
some. He made one so far, spiritual successor to Symphony of the Night, and this was Bloodstained Ritual of the Night. And this is a good game, ladies and
Oh
gentlemen. This
yeah,
is this is a very very good version of a Castlevania game.
it. You know what? Playing Bloodstained, you would swear you're playing Castlevania, like for real.
I mean, even the music like oozes Castlevania vibes. Man, that's what I loved about it. It's like this is so good. And I played that game like the day it came out. Like I remember buying it, popping it in. I'm
hmm
like,
Yep.
let's do this, and nonstop played that game. I probably the game you could probably beat in, I don't know, 10 or 15 hours. I think I must have probably put like 50 hours into that game though. I was doing like
Wow.
all sorts of stuff, trying to find everything, trying to do everything. But I absolutely loved it.
Oh yeah. I mean, Symphony of the Night was a masterpiece.
Oh
Loved it,
yeah,
loved it, loved it. And then, we've always asked for another one, and we never got it. But they gave us Bloodstain. And the cool thing about Bloodstain, there's two versions. There's, Ritual of the Night, which is, a spiritual successor to Symphony of the Night,
right.
which is fantastic. But then there's the other one, the more 8-bit version.
Curse
Can't
of the
think of the
Moon.
name. Curse of the Moon. Thank you very much. It still plays like Castlevania, but it plays more like the Nintendo 8-bit Nintendo versions,
Yep.
which is still fine.
Oh, those are awesome games as well. They're just different.
They're different.
Yeah. But man, that's how you do it right. Shout out to you, Igarashi. Keep making some great shit. The next is gonna be, I don't know, Wes. I'll let you take this. This is a fighting game, so it's all you.
Okay, yeah. So we had the rise of Mortal Kombat, and Mortal Kombat just started a revolution as far as fighting games and fighting violence and everything. So we had, Boone and Tobias, building Mortal Kombat and made Mortal Kombat what it is today. But at some point, they split,
Mm-hmm.
and Boone and Tobias went their separate ways. Boone stayed, Tobias left, formed his own company, and the one game that they came out with is called Tel Fang Fist of the Lotus for Xbox.
An
It's
exclusive Xbox game, correct?
it was exclusive. It's very Mortal Kombat. It's
Yeah.
very Mortal Kombat. It's got the bone breaking, and yeah, it's Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, I mean, they were really trying to bring Mortal Kombat to the next level, and Microsoft got behind that. Paid for the exclusive rights to the game. But at the end of the day, it was okay. It's some cool stuff that Mortal Kombat did, right? But would you say it was good or would you say it was okay?
It was okay. I mean, it wasn't
Yeah.
it wasn't Mortal Kombat.
Nah.
Uh, it was. From what I remember, it's been a minute, but there were no weapons because, like, I know Mortal Kombat relied heavily on like special moves, and like Scorpion had weapons and all that stuff. It was more hand to hand, but it was side scrolling Mortal Kombat, 2D playing, bruises and bone breaking. It was Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, I never played it myself, but working in GameStop back in the day, I remember selling a bunch of copies, and most people were like,
Mhm.
"Yeah, it's fine." A few people traded it back in a couple days later and stuff, but it was, you know,
Well, anytime you see from the creators of Mortal Kombat, you get excited.
yeah,
And it
especially
was
back then.
really, oh yeah, back then, because Mortal Kombat couldn't do no wrong until they made four, but that's a whole nother story.
Yeah, I mean, well, four was probably around that same time, right? That was like
Yeah.
PS1. Well, PS1 might have been before then. So this
Well,
might have been like them saying this will be the resurgence of Mortal Kombat.
but
Four was
it's,
bad.
definitely, oh, four was bad because it was all 3D. And I was
Yeah.
like, it doesn't play like Mortal Kombat.
No.
It was all right, but But yeah, Tofang, Fist of the Lotus, spiritual successor to Mortal Kombat.
No
It was
doubt.
just, it was okay. But then we get one that excited a lot of people when we heard about it
It
because
sounded cool.
they based off a ultimate classic, Mega Man. Everybody loves Mega Man. Everybody loves Mega Man.
Similar situation. Just like Igarashi left Konami to make a spiritual successor to Castlevania. I can't remember his name, but he left Capcom. He used to make Mega Man, right? And
Mm-hmm.
he left to make a spiritual successor to that, which was Mighty Number Nine. And if you guys don't know what the hell that is, it's the ugly. It's the ugly that we're talking about. It's like
Mighty Number Nine looked fantastic. All the previews in the magazines, we were super excited. We were like, yes, finally a true successor to Mega Man. It's 2D goodness. And then we got Mighty Number Nine, and I I really, really, really tried to like it.
I didn't even play it. I was like I was gonna buy it like the first day, and I was like I think like a couple days before probably previews came out, or maybe that morning previews came out. I was like, oh no, I'm staying away from this. And then everybody just said it was terrible. And to be fair, I didn't play the game, but I was so disinterested after that point. I got the game for free from like PlayStation Plus 1 month. I still haven't played the game for for free, so it's like my time is more valuable than to play a bad game.
Yeah, people were bummed. I mean, they were super excited, and it was broken.
Yeah,
It wasn't. It tried to feel like Mega Man because that's what. And the character looked almost like Mega Man.
yeah, he
You know,
did.
he ran like Mega Man, had weapons like Mega Man, gameplay like Mega Man. It just wasn't Mega Man.
I think the art style had a lot to do with it. I think if they went
Mm-hmm.
back to the 8-bit art style, that
Mm-hmm.
would have helped a bit. Obviously, the gameplay was not perfect, so there was issues there too. But it looked more like Mega Man X, which was always less appealing to me.
Yes.
Like I always like, the 8-bit Mega Man better than Mega Man X. So that
Did you
also,
really?
oh yeah,
I didn't mind X. I thought X looked really good.
it's fine. I'll take that 8-bit Mega Man all day.
Okay. Okay.
That's the Mega Man that I prefer.
Okay. But then we also have an honorable mention. Left 4 Dead. I love Left 4 Dead. Loved, loved, loved Left 4 Dead. So much fun. Single player, playing with some friends online. Loved it. Everybody's been waiting for Left 4 Dead 3, and sadly, we never got it. But then the creators left, as what always happens, and they gave us Back for Blood,
Hmm.
which is Left 4 Dead.
Well, you'll have to tell me this because again, this came out about I would say about a year or two ago at this point, and
Mm-hmm.
I didn't play this game. I was like, it doesn't look like it's a game for me. So did Back for Blood? Was it okay? Was it
It
the
was
okay?
fine.
Was it good? Was it
I
ugly?
enjoyed it. It was Left 4 Dead. It really was Left 4 Dead.
So it was okay,
It was fine. I enjoyed it.
but it wasn't
I
good.
did it. It wasn't Left 4 Dead, but it was fine.
That
It
means
was.
it's okay. This is what Wes does.
I
He'll
enjoyed it.
defend Aquaman on Xbox. So this game was probably okay. That's what you should mark that down as.
It was fun to play. If you like Left 4 Dead, this is what you get. This is what you get because we're not going to get 3, so we got to take this and like it. Especially since like after Left 4 Dead, they came out with another game that evolved, and everybody thought that was going to be Left 4 Dead, and it totally wasn't, and it was not that good. Where I think they redeemed themselves with Back 4 Blood, so I'm happy.